The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised.
Long before the sects divided, there was the enveloping darkness. It was in this dark humanity learned to trust the light, to run from shadows, and most importantly, to fear.
Brutality and superstition walked hand in hand in this dark time, but also hope. Hope that the heroes of this age could hold back the monsters and illuminate the path through the shadows.
The children of Cain are no different. Some run from the shadows, some turn to the light, and some become the monsters of legend passed down from one hearth to another.
Their story is one of loss, one of struggle, and one of death. For what can survive in the wake of those that cannot die?
This is what it means to be a myth made flesh. This is what it means to be a vampire in the Dark Ages.
Welcome to our Vampire Dark Ages stream. We here at McStabber Studios understand that some of the subjects that come up during this chronicle are problematic by modern standards. Our goal is to handle these kinds of situations in a manner that does not directly or indirectly glorify these kinds of actions. While we understand that we are playing in a world of monsters, that does not mean we must be the monsters ourselves. Please also be aware, none of our cast are experts in history. That means there will be some deviations between the world timeline and the vampiric world. You can go ahead and chalk that up to the Cainite influence on the mortals around them. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy our story. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to McStabber Studios' Vampire Dark Ages Glimpses of History. I, of course, am the storyteller, Shanky McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber, and I will be playing Elena Ehervina, Thorndaughter of Clan La Sombra.
I am Zachary Naldra, he, him. I will be playing Miguel Tanner, he, him, of the Gangrel.
I'm Jenny Vanish, and I'm playing Peregrine McSullivan of Clan... What?
Hello, I'm Maddox, and I will be playing Snatcher of Clan Nosferatu.
Hello everyone, I am the Ravenous Harkon, and I'll be playing Agustín Diego de Cartagena Cardenal de la Cruz, Primera Espada de Valencia y Guarda Real de Aragón e Barcelona, Clan La Sombra.
With that mouthful that I'm not even going to try to pronounce, I would first of all like to thank everyone for coming out to see our very first episode tonight. As the 12th century comes to a close, Transylvania is a land of enduring hatred and undying grudges. To the west, the Hungarian Vintru conspire to claim the region as their own. To the east, Mongol hordes are gathering and will soon sweep through the region, leaving a trail of devastation in their wake. Within the borders of the land beyond the forest, danger lurks in every corner. The Council of Ashes that were put in place by the Hungarian Vintru has fallen apart, leaving only 4 of the original 7 princes in power. Pitted against them are the Zmitsi lords, who see themselves as the true rulers of this blood-soaked land. And now, high in the Carpathian Mountains, the usurpers of Clan Tremere wait for their chance to strike. Almost none of them realize that this only serves to feed the monsters that is the demon Cupola, who taints all who enter these lands. It is into this land a group of Cainites has been sent by their sires to repay a boon. a boon that seems like a minor event at the time, but will eventually shake the foundations of Khainite history. You have each been summoned to the city of Budapest to meet with an ally of your sires. This meeting is to occur at the market square of Budapest, close to the stocks, at the 10th hour of the evening on the 15th of April. Enclosed with your missive was also a letter wrapped in cloth, bound by sealing wax. The letter was, though I am unacquainted with you, I feel that we share a bond through your sires who are my allies. As you are dutiful children of your sires, I request that you meet me at the market square, near the stocks in the castle district of Budapest, on the 15th day of April of this year at the 10th hour of the night. I would like to put before you a proposition that may lead to great gains for each of you and closer alliances among us. If you wish to hear more, attend me at the date specified. I hope to become your patron, Count Radu, Prince of Bistris. It has been a 3-week journey for most of you, all but one who arrived ahead of time, who did not travel by covered wagon. But as the 15th day of April comes, 4 of you have gathered outside of the city as dusk has fallen. The servants that were sent with you by your sires have said that they cannot take you into the city. The wagons will be inspected, searching for, of course, tax revenue that must be declared. So you are to make your way into the city on your own before it gets too much later and they close the gates. But I'm sure there's a little time for quick introductions from each other. Magel, you are, of course, not here with the rest of them. You're waiting inside in the cattle district, just inside the gate. I turn it over to the other 4.
Interesting group of people that have been gathered for this. All of you are here for El Conde.
Aye.
So,
It's actually good to see you all again. It's been some time for some of you.
Pellegrin?
Hmm?
Is that you?
Aye. 'Tis.
Oh my goodness.
Aye, it's been a while, hasn't it? It's good to see you. And a different shade, I might add, too.
I go by Elena now.
Oh, okay, because I was about to call you by your normal name, and I wasn't sure. Take it I'm the only one going by my normal name, eh?
You are? And she looks at the Nosferatu.
Snatcher. Pleasure.
It is not a name, that is an occupation.
And yet it is what I am named. What I go by responds to. I have no other to give.
I can
He's
respect
out
that.
for him. I've met him before.
No, well,
And you, how are you doing, Augustine? You going by that too, or not?
that is my name.
She'll gesture to Elena. Some people change their name. I'm making sure.
I have not come to that age yet myself.
When you are the mother of a dynasty, you have to change your name.
Yeah. Just remind me that once again, eh?
Which dynasty?
Oh, that's a story. Hold on. Let me get ready. You go for it and tell him.
The rulers of Kiev and Rus.
I will be quite truthful. I know very little. Especially of Kiev.
I've been filled in on what has happened. I was sleeping for a while.
Good afternoon, then.
Thank you. Shall we make our way in?
Sure.
As you all move to approach to the gates, as you arrive, several guards are standing there. There's not many people moving at this hour. Most people, at least outside the city, tend to shutter their houses the moment darkness falls. As you approach the gate, one of the guards looks you over. You coming in tonight? You're gonna need to move in now. Otherwise, you're gonna have to wait till morning.
We move in.
As you step through the gate, the first thing that strikes you through this gate that the servants have brought you is you arrive in a cattle market. Now, for your companion that was here already, you've been given a description of who to look for. You were actually told to look for Ilana. And you see them as they're coming into the gate, right as it shuts behind them. The cattle market is rather busy. It's an oddity that it is still busy at this hour. Young boys run back and forth. Servants move about. You see more than one merchant, either selling cattle, horses, or other livestock. Miguel, what do you do? Do you approach the group now that you've seen them?
I'm going to hang back just for a moment because I don't know how they all know each other, but I know all of them. So it does seem kind of odd if I was only expecting Elena.
That was the one you were told, given your travels in the region, the one you were told to look for.
I'm just going to sit back a little bit and kind of watch see how they react, since it does seem odd that 4 Canaanites that I know arrived together when I was only expecting one that I know. I'm not hiding. I am, but I am not rushing over saying, "Hi, how are you? It's good. How's the accepting of Christ going?" Or anything like that.
So, if anyone wants to attempt to see him, perception alertness, if you're looking for those kind of things. Otherwise, and as always in this kind of game, if I do not give you a difficulty, the difficulty is 6. We shall see.
All right, in this case, my specialty doesn't mean dick, but I still got 4 successes.
Got 4.
4 and 4?
Got 3.
3?
I got 0.
0. Well, the one you were told to watch for did not notice you at all. But the other 3 do see you. Because it was clear you were watching the gate.
I nod at everybody. Slight head tilt. Similar to a dog that looks confused.
Returned at least by the very bland, unassuming looking young man next to the rest of them.
I believe you were told to look for me.
I was. I'm curious as why I wasn't told to look for the rest of you.
We actually met up just outside the gate.
have you all arrived for the same reason?
Summoned by Radu?
And encouraged to attend.
Yes.
Storyteller, about how much time do we have to kill before?
You've got about, given this time of year, you got about 2 hours to kill. Now, Budapest is, for the time, a very large city. You do have to make your way through it, but you're not in a rush to run full speed up there.
I've already secured my arrangements for my stay here, though I don't know if I can extend that to the rest of you. I can show you to various ends.
Would
If
be
you would like to see-
appreciated.
What I know of Elena and Pagran and Augustine, as a matter of fact, everybody except for Snatcher, I would prefer a nicer inn that I will direct them to.
That would be the House of the Red Hedgehog. It's actually located between the castle and the church district. It's a bit further in, and it's actually roundabout your way because you are going to the castle district for the market square. So you can get them situated before you go into the market square portion if you wish.
I'm assuming Snatcher would not necessarily, from my knowledge of him, be requiring his fine establishment.
Do you have a root cellar somewhere? Or anything of the like? He is not picky.
I'm sure we can find
Just somewhere that
something.
isn't frequented that he can just hide out for the day. Nothing fancy. Not like he could afford it anyways.
Well, I'm sure we can find you a spot on the way to, if you don't want to share with the rest.
I don't care. If you want to, you're more than welcome.
He'll lead the way through the city towards the hedgehog.
And as you move through the cattle market, the smells of the animals, and also at this time, it's a lot of people out at night, not something you're used to in a lot of places. The smells are getting to you as you're moving further in. But as you get just past the cattle market, going through the central market, not the one at the castle district, there seems to be a small crowd gathered ahead of you. And as you approach the crowd, you see a short, stocky man on top of a platform. And he's got a woman linked to a chain who's kneeling before him. And as you're walking up, you hear him, "Sold!" As this miserable, rough-clad looking woman, is passed off to the guards to be transferred to her new owner. Looking around the crowd, you would guess they're little more than brigands, most of them roughly dressed. They definitely don't appear to be nobility. Most of them are heavily armed, as a matter of fact. But there is one man who kind of stands out, because he has noble's clothes, unlike the rest of them. Tall, fine-featured. He is watching. He seems bored, but he's definitely keeping an eye on what's going on.
Was he the one to purchase that woman?
No, it was one of the brigands.
Could I keep an eye and try to commit the face of the one who purchased her to memory?
Sure.
Thank you.
But as you're moving through the market, you see another girl brought up on the platform. She's disheveled and dirty, but her clothes appear noblewoman's, though tattered, dirty as she is. Her hair is matted, but you can tell she has long black hair that, if properly cared for, would look much better than it does now. But as he brings her to the top of the platform, what am I bid for this woman? She's virgin and untouched, obedient and bettable. He gets no further than that when her leg sneaks out and trips him. And she bolts from the crowd, or from the top of the platform, running towards you all. Though you suspect she may be running for the alley that you're near.
Or make sure she has a clear path to the alley.
I'm going to try and sneak into the alley ahead of her.
Okay. Well, you see where she's going. I will let you sneak ahead of her. That's not a problem.
Fantastic. Would you like me to roll, or am I just
No,
am I just that sneaky?
You see her, you shouldn't have to sneak ahead. You see her coming. The crowd isn't looking your way at all. They're looking and pointing and laughing, as a matter of fact, at the guy, the auctioneer, who was just made a fool of. What is the rest of you doing, though? I'm curious.
Oh, Elena is just observing, and she is starting to snicker under her breath just a little bit.
I'm going to take my defensive position because Ambrosio did tell me to keep an eye and protect La Dama Elena. So I'm going to stand between this running cattle and my ward.
For you,
Pettergreen will
go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, Pettergreen will go with Snatcher. Actually, dip back, pull out some of her robes that she's packed with her. She'll actually help the woman change and disguise her.
Now, as those two move in, Miguel, you're making sure that she has a path. Two of the guards run up to Elena and Augustine. Did you see which way she went?
No, I'm sorry. I was too busy laughing at the auctioneer.
Quite the funny sight, I must admit.
Third time this week it's happened to him.
He needs better shoes, I think.
Yes.
No, I think he needs to lay off the meat. And wasn't a soldier like some of us. Now, you go that way, I'll go this way. And they split off. But as they split off, we're going to flash to the alley where this woman has stopped long enough to try to get the ropes that are binding her off.
Bound in front or in back?
Her hands were bound behind her back.
I clear my throat near her, but not next to her, so I don't get hit for announcing myself.
She whirls into a crouch as she's still fumbling to get her hands unbound.
Gal, let us unbind you.
Her eyes dart back and forth as if
I've
she's
got clothes.
appraising you.
I got clothes for you if you want to disappear.
And she turns to offer her ropes. Now, as you're cutting her free, Elena and Augustine, that patrician man that you saw, has seen exactly where she went, because he's beelining for the alley.
I believe that is code for the La Sombra stand there menacingly.
Probably.
That is. You're just standing there.
This was not the cattle market I was expecting, but...
No. But it is interesting and entertaining.
Was this prevalent in your time, Damelena?
The man looks at both you with a bored look and walks past you towards the alley.
Fare you well, my friend.
Is there anything heavy back here, storyteller?
I mean, it is an alley. There's trash. And by trash, I mean bits and pieces of broken wood, refuse, excrement.
I'll take a dense looking piece of wood and just have it ready, and I'm gonna try and back into the shadows for when if I see either of the guards or whoever come back looking for her, just a little ways ahead of where her and Peregrine are.
Now,
Miguel will
go ahead.
Miguel will accidentally step directly in front of him when the man gets close enough so that the man does not have time to stop before running into Miguel.
Did anyone here have Romanian as one of their languages?
I think I did. Hang on. I think I did.
It's no,
I do.
You don't have to have it because there are ways to go around it. We're playing a bit loose with the language at times because
Yes, I have Romanian.
Did you follow the man into the alley?
I imagine we kind of moved close enough to kind of eavesdrop.
Yeah. Where she goes, I go.
Yeah.
The woman states in Romanian her name is Sherazina, and her family will pay well for her rescue. And she begs sanctuary. But the man looks you all over, particularly eyeballing the gangrel who's now standing in front of him. How much for you to give me the girl? And he's speaking in Latin.
I'll reply in Latin. I will give you some coin to just walk away.
And he looks a little bit harder at you. Looks over. Peregrine. Snatcher.
I'm hiding
You used completely?
as far back into the dark as I can so he doesn't see me. I'm only hiding from him. The rest can see me just fine, but since he's the one who's, actively antagonistic at this moment.
She is the one I want. Understand, I am Sinshal of this city. My name is Roland.
Elena speaks in Latin. And we are here to see the prince.
I'm not aware that the prince is seeing anyone tonight.
Perhaps you should go check on that instead of worrying about this girl.
And he looks nervous. The master I serve is more important than the prince. She is to be Bolsku's. Give her to me, or you will suffer his wrath.
I've heard that before.
As I've done business in the city, is that a name that I would recognize?
Roland definitely is not Sinshao.
Oh, he's not.
No, he's definitely not. Bolsku, though, you do recognize that name. He is a Ventru of the city. A very old Ventru of the city. Old enough he should be prince, according to traditions of Cain. But he's not.
And Count Radu is the Prince of Bistria. We're in...
Correct. You're in Budapest.
So...
The Prince of Budapest is, you would know, is Prince Ricard.
Okay.
But either way, he lied about Sinshal for sure.
He did. He did. Now, Seneschal, you don't remember me.
Why would I remember rabble? Rabble comes to this city all the time.
Well, there was the book that the Seneschal of the city had ordered a custom cover for, binding for, that I created. But if you were the Seneschal of the city, you would know that. Now, you can walk away and your patron, and it won't be known that your patron has someone in his employ who is lying about his status in the city. Or you can test the theory of what you have in your hand, and we'll see how the cards lie.
I will go tell my master. He will not be pleased that his dinner was taken from him. And he turns and almost stalks away. You can tell this is not a man who's used to being told no. And the woman looks you all over. Take me with you.
Is there any way to tell if she's got any extra juice or if she's just mortal?
If you had soul sight.
Ah, bitch. No, I'm definitely not the one for that.
And that would be one way.
I'm going to activate heightened senses.
Okay.
That's another.
And extend my hand.
Okay.
In greeting.
She looks at it. She's not quite sure how to react. But finally, she reaches out to touch your hand.
Holding it kind of awkwardly, with my index finger kind of below her palm, right about where the vein is, sensing for a pulse.
Okay, what do you want to roll to detect that? I'll let you figure out what to roll.
Perception and alertness to be able to tell the changes in the...
Sure.
And heightened senses affects touch too, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
It affects all the senses.
So that would be +1 for heightened senses, right?
Yes.
Or does that lower the difficulty?
Lower the difficulty, actually.
Okay.
I'll make the difficulty 5 for that one.
And my perception specialty of attentive. Does that apply?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. So then that is 5 successes.
You feel a pulse. It's rapid. It's obvious she's scared. But she has a pulse. So she does appear to be mortal.
You're looking to get back to your family?
Yes.
Okay.
I am of the house Basarab. That name you recognize. That is actually a prominent family throughout Transylvania.
How close would they be in comparison to the convent that Miguel is frequents?
Not close at all, unfortunately.
In comparison to where we are in Budapest.
They are actually, I got to pull up my map real quick. Okay, let me find my map. They are actually, I'd put them much closer, instead of Budapest, to the Bucharest side. More closer to Kronstadt in that region.
Where are the maps again in here?
They're under maps. in journals, if you wish to look at a map.
Journals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, so the convent that I would have been kind of in between along, if you take the Danube around, it would be in between Budapest and Bucharest. So
She looks you over as you're thinking on it. I'll be your servant so my family can be arranged to get me.
I'm just going to look around to the rest of the coterie. I mean, I do have a safe-ish place that she could stay outside of the city and the means of getting her there.
She'd be alone.
If you would like a servant, she is offering services.
I'm going to correct you on that, Snatcher. I don't think she would be alone because Elena's has 4 servants who are waiting outside the city. Augustine has 1 waiting outside the city.
Oh, I figured that. Snatcher was more just asking, like, are we leaving her just in this location by herself? But I take it that answer is no with that information.
If you can get her outside of the city, I have 4 with me waiting outside that can watch over her.
How close she can change into Plaza Vale so they won't see her face.
We can ensure she returns to her family.
Aye.
Word
That we
for
can.
my servant as well. My squire will protect her with his life
Of course.
if she's going to mean that much to you, Miguel.
One who works for me is not a combatant, and I'm looking for a second, but I will not find one until we hit Transylvania proper.
I have 2 combatants of the 4 that are outside.
I assume you're all speaking in Latin right now, right?
Yes.
I'm going to assume you're using Latin when you're talking amongst yourselves unless you told me otherwise.
Yes. So she will be protected.
Okay.
And it seems, Elena, you are the one who can communicate the easiest with her, if by the expression you understood the language she was speaking.
She slips into Romanian and looks at the woman. You will not need to be our servant. We have enough. But we will ensure you are protected and that you can be returned to your family.
I thank you. Perhaps I can be useful. I know a bit of the region. It is clear you're outsiders. You don't dress like everyone else.
No. Visiting.
And she takes the clothes offered.
Miguel will see you outside the city.
You can't get her outside the city at the moment. The gate's closed. You'll have to wait until morning. So she'll have to at least travel with you for now.
Mm.
Though
Can I
she
remote
takes the
give her-
clothes offered, she doesn't appear to have very much shame, as she doesn't even bat an eye about changing her outfit in front of everybody.
It's just a body. Snatcher's not that interested in it.
Turn around.
Peregrine will help her with it because it's more Arabic clothing than European. She'll show her how to put things on, put the veil on to cover her face and her hair and everything to conceal her.
She definitely hides her raven black hair, because that would be used to easily identify her. And as you, I assume, assuming competence, you move outside the alley, but not the same one you walked in. You move down a bit before you find a way back out to continue on your way. And you soon come to the river ferry that separates the cities of Buda and Pest, where you must cross the river. so that you can start the big climb up what they call Castle Hill. It's here that you'll find the inn you were looking for. The Inn of the Red Hedgehog. Located outside even the markets of the Castle District. It's clear that this place tries to cater to those with a bit of money. It is not cheap. And while I'll say you all don't have an abundance of funds, you do have some. You can at least afford one night in the place. Do you all go and try to settle a room?
Yes. And of course, Elena has to give her money to Augustine.
Probably with a dejected sigh.
It's clear as you're going in by your pale look and no reaction from those around you. They don't think anything out of the ordinary about pale travelers who come in the night to get rooms. How many nights are you staying, sir?
One for now, please, for myself and my lady friend.
Yes, my lord. And you get a room. It's on the second floor. And as you go to check the room, there's heavy wooden shutters that block the windows. Heavy enough. Seems odd. It's heavy enough to block the sunlight from entering the room.
Convenient.
Very.
Do you leave Shirazina in your rooms, or do you take her with you?
I actually tell her to wait in the room for us to return.
Thank you for saving me. I don't know what that brute had planned, but it didn't sound good.
I'm sure it was nothing good. Do not allow anyone entry while we are gone.
I will not, mistress.
Very good. And
You all gather back out in front of the place. And you continue your climb up Castle Hill. As you're climbing the hill, it's funny. Sometimes it's lit by torches. Sometimes it's not. There's dark patches. Sometimes there's lamps lit. It's very patchwork about how much light there is and there isn't. But you come to a particularly dark area where a tall, well-muscled individual steps out of an alley wearing a Roman breastplate of all things. He has long hair that's wild, a beard that's twice as wild. And he's got a Roman pilum in his hand. The Roman spear, for those that don't know what that is. And as soon as he sees you, stand, O children whose shoulders bear the burden of redemption. He says it in Latin. A Latin, honestly, reminds some of you of Latin spoken in the Holy Roman Empire. Long have my eyes sought beyond to that which has been and will be. He rises. All must be ready. Soon you shall meet with one whose plans lead you to the heart of terror and exaltation. Rejoice, for you shall witness it all. You play a grand part in what comes. Ah, the sweet heart's blood, let it wash away your sins. 8 signs of the coming nights shine within my vision, and I see you all within each. though nothing is ever prevented, it might yet be transformed by the actions of you few. Go now, my children, and remember my words when the patterning is asked of you. Zolat lies, flees his vision. Prosper, and I assure you, we will meet again. And then he stands there staring at you.
Miguel, this is a strange city. I don't normally get accosted like this in other cities.
I have not accosted you. I have spoken the words of truth. The words as I have seen them.
And who are you that does this speaking?
I am Havnor, the Holy One. Has anyone here got some occult, maybe some religion?
Yes.
Cult, yes.
Okay. Difficulty 8. Give me intelligence occult. You can also go hearth wisdom if you wish.
Oh, that I got.
Mm-hmm.
Theology?
Sure, go with that too.
Would that, does that change the difficulty at all?
No, it doesn't. It's all difficulty.
Okay.
8.
And it's intelligence, you said?
Yes.
I got 3.
I got none of that shit.
I'm spending a willpower.
Okay. To give you a success?
To give me a success, yes.
Okay.
That makes
I forgot
one
about
success.
our willpower change, but I rolled 2 successes out of 3 dice, so I'm happy.
I got 2.
How
I
many
didn't
did
bother.
Elena have? 3? Snatcher, you, yeah. For those that had less than 3, Havnor is the name of the ancient Magyar god of thunder and lightning. For those with 3, he's also the patron of prophecy.
Well, thank you for your guidance. But you are not the one we are to meet tonight.
My servants come. And you see torches coming down from the alley he stepped out of.
Mm-hmm.
And he's looking you over.
We're going to keep walking.
And as you begin to move away,
Have a good night, Havnor. Enjoy whatever storms you are brewing up. Okay, bye.
as you begin to walk away, he again speaks in Latin. He tones a prayer for the dead as he points at you. But his crowd of followers, you'd put it maybe a dozen, only 4 of them seem to have torches. They look your way. They are
Go in
the agents of
peace.
evil, and they start charging towards you. You've got a head start. If you choose to run, you can.
Not running.
You're going to take on with torches.
Let's see what I have up my bag of tricks.
I will give you a second to decide.
As far as I'm concerned, we step back and let the gangrel and La Sombra take care of it. No need to get my hands dirty.
I'll give you a second. I'll get a drink because I'm thirsty.
I actually am going, whoever's like staring at her, she's going to use subjugation on.
That would be probably one at the head of the pack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How far away are they?
You all had moved a bit down, so I'd put them maybe 15 feet.
That's going to be manipulation and leadership.
Do I have time to draw my bow and fire?
You have a crossbow.
Long, or just a regular bow because it's
Just
not
a regular bow?
Yeah, because we took away longbows. So
Sure, I will
So-
let you. You can get a shot off if you want.
all right.
What is your? We got subjugation. Somebody's going to shoot a bow. No need for initiative on that. It's just Dex archery. The
If
rest of the group.
If I hear Elena call on domination, I will follow suit. I'll pick one person as I draw my blade and point it at them, so that I know they're at least focused in my direction, and I'll just command them to kneel.
Now, hang on. For subjugation, you have to spend a period of time with the subject, so you won't be able to do it quickly. You'll have to
Then
use
I'll
command.
do command.
Yep, you'll
Then
have
I'll
to
do
use
command. It's fine.
Manipulation, intimidation for command.
Yep.
Snatcher, you doing anything?
I'm gonna look at this prophet motherfucker. Is he grinning like, haha, I tricked you
No.
into sending my underlings under?
No,
after
not
you?
at all. He has a very impassive face.
He's just, but they are. It is his. The people he said were his are the ones
Obviously.
charging us. Okay.
I used my manipulation specialty.
Okay.
Of persuasion.
Okay.
And I got a 10. Do I do anything with that?
Nope, just gives you 2 successes.
Okay.
There's not exploding crits in this game.
Okay, so that's 4
Damn shame
successes
that.
on command, and I'm going to command the one that's coming at me to drop and kneel.
Okay, you've got 1.
This is
Is
from
called shots additional difficulty or additional successes needed?
A cold shot, I believe, adds to the difficulty.
Okay.
I can pull it up on my tables here. It's going to take me a little while to get used to,
So I am I'm aiming at one of the torches.
Oh, okay. Well, for
And I
the
got
sake of speed,
110.
you got 110?
So
You got a 10, so you hit it.
that's all I got.
It causes a shower of sparks as the torches hit. One is kneeling. The rest of you waiting for him to get close, correct?
I got 2 successes on my command to kneel.
So 2
Whoever's
of them.
coming in my way.
2 of them. It's kind of odd because you pick the 2 in the front. And as they kneel, the ones behind them trip over those in the front.
That was
As an
the
arrow
point.
hits a torch, causing the man to not only drop it, but it to land amongst the pile of people.
Mm-hmm. And now they're going to go up in flames.
And they seem to be, well, they seem distracted as several of them are now trying to put out the fire
Mm-hmm.
that you've lit of their clothing.
Hey, I did not light anything, sir. Please.
But as you did this, the man that watched you, Havnor, he just gets a smile and turns and walks back into the alley.
I'm gonna mouth the words "Go in peace" to Havnor. I don't know if he can see it from here, but just in case.
He might not.
And then I'll say it to the clump of people burning in front of me.
Now, do you all begin just going back your way up the
Oh, yeah.
path as you leave them behind?
Oh, yeah.
The crowd does not seem to have any desire to follow you after this little bit. They seem to be well dissuaded from that activity.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm just doing my best not to look directly at the smoldering pile.
Now, thankfully, it wasn't a big enough fire. I'm going to make you rush for it because they were a bit away.
Oh no, not even for Rostrek. Just what a way to go.
But as you
Smells
move up
like bacon.
the road leading towards the castle district, you come to yet another gate. But this gate, as soon as you approach, the guards, you can see their eyes flick to your clothing, and they open the gate without a word. And they each just nod as you walk past, heading up and officially entering the castle district. This is a nice place, actually. These are where the nicer houses are. It is, even though you haven't quite reached the market square of the castle district, it is definitely where those who have more money tend to stay. The merchants who are wealthier than the rabble who stay outside this gate. You even see more guard patrols walking the streets. It's obvious that they care. The night watchmen watch a lot closer than you saw anywhere else. It's right here, everybody. We're going to go to break. We will see everybody in 10 minutes. Please enjoy. Welcome back, everybody. Before the break, well, we established this newly formed coterie, I guess, has come to Budapest. And in the process, well, they rescued a woman to be sold into slavery, most likely to be eaten, to be fair. They met a madman who spoke of prophecy. Prophecy, for those that understand what it came from, is rather important to many kindred, or at least it will be. As we pick up, they have entered the castle district and are moving up roads that are much better taken care of. There's more guards. It's obvious that while you're here, you should be a lot safer and a lot less of random accosting.
Can I start casing some of the crowd?
There's not much crowd at this hour in this part of town. You don't see anyone right now on the street other than night watchmen patrolling.
Oh, so no one that looks like an actual target for me then. Okay.
Peregrine's
I'll
going
hold
to
off.
try and gently get everyone to kind of like move off to the side for a moment.
I will do that, but also I do want to take a note if anybody is wearing any armor that I've made.
Always.
Keep an eye out. If this looks like something that has to be clandestine, then I'll start making sure that I have views of anybody that might be taking note of us.
It's going to be brief, honestly. I'm talking quiet so no one hears. I was sent here by, and I cannot really say my true client. Apparently, there's a wee bit of secrecy. So I'm going to be introducing myself underneath the Clantoria door. It's not joy, I
choice.
promise you. That's my choice. I'll tell you that for sure.
It's a bold choice.
All right.
You know me. And she'll look at Elena. You know I don't find any joy in this at all.
I know. We do what we must.
If you guys need it, who comes up with these names? Genevieve Rasputin is supposed to be Messiah, so you're all aware. But this is supposed to be secret underneath what I'm here for. Just so you're all aware, so when I introduce myself, I'm not saying my true clan. Do you mind I'll keep the secret?
We'll play along.
You're just some useless rose. Why does it matter?
You
Listen here.
scream of the Toreador in your outfit, of course, clearly.
Naturally?
Take off the veil.
Oh. People see me then. I don't know if that's supposed to be the thing.
You want to be
You're the
seen if
Toreador.
you're
You want to
the
be
rose.
seen.
Damalena is correct.
Storyteller,
20
there.
years of hiding. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask. There are like mirrors around this time. They're just not like the
They
crazy.
are
It's not the
silver.
crazy boom of people making like a shitload of
No,
mirrors.
because mirrors are made with silver.
Yes, most of them are polished metal.
The nobles have silver mirrors that most people will never afford.
Right.
Mirrors are rather rare.
Is this better?
It is.
Feels somewhat undressed, so
The only thing that I could say as advice for if you need to know how to be of the rose be just under what true competence should be and fall flat.
Almost a compliment.
So
They almost deserve one.
wait, so I have to fake incompetence is what you're telling me.
Or at the very least, have your head so full of frivolity that you can't quite focus.
Not necessarily true. You have a love of books.
Right?
You can use that as your art, as it were.
Okay, can I keep my nose in it?
Certainly.
Be a
That
true
would be-
orator.
well,
Storyteller,
you know.
how well known is Genevieve Rasputin?
You've never heard the name. But this is a
Snatcher
time
assumed it was fake.
this is a time when messages and details news takes a while. It is almost impossible to know all the kindred of any given area because, well, it takes forever to get it there in the first place. You know that's definitely not anyone you've encountered in your travels.
Ergen, do you know if there is an actual Toreador by that name?
I'll be honest, I don't know.
He's going to reach in his pocket. Take this and hand a wooden cross, something that you can say is of your sires.
Oh, so she's one of the followers.
We're making this up as we go along.
No. I mean,
But
you're wanting her to be one of the followers, is what I'm saying.
we're going to go with that.
All right.
Let's
I have
also
seen-
try to keep it to a minimum. The more we have to remember, the crazier the lie gets.
Exactly.
Falsehood is best with multiple sets of detail.
What he said.
All right. Well, we all agree.
Okay, so
And you look lovely.
Oh, thanks. Do I need to do more, or I'm
No,
good?
it's fine.
Okay, I don't want to go naked.
If you're not the type that believes that there's still sunshine flowing from your rear, then no. You'll be fine.
No.
Had very interesting interactions with members of the Rose. Let me tell you.
Really?
Oh, believe me, there's many interesting interactions to have with me and the Roses. I love
Very
talking
different
to
in your part of the
Toreador.
world. Very clearly different.
All right. Well, let us continue.
And as you move further down the road, it's funny how Budapest is laid out. Like many of the towns, once you get on a main road, it always leads generally to the same places. But as you near the market square that you know you are to report to, Miguel, the hairs on the back of your neck are standing up. And they're standing up in a way that you recognize. They only stand up like this when Mother Constance is near. I believe you're muted.
He's going to be looking. He's going to get a sense of kind of the general area that she is in. I'm guessing.
Close.
Is her blood calling to him and telling him it's time for communion?
No, it's something else. And as you're glancing around, you notice where there was nobody, suddenly there's a thin patrician man that you've seen before. You, matter of fact, saw him threatening you over a slave. But you only notice him because a pair of women's hands also materialize from the shadows and throw him into an alley that you all have just passed not long ago. The rest of you only catch, you hear the sound of a body impacting a wall, and you catch a glimpse of Nun's habit as this individual slips into the alley, apparently peeling off somebody who was following you that you did not know was following. It's clear by his materialization as he was grabbed that he was cloaking himself in a way to make him invisible to you all.
I'm not sure.
Cannot hide from the Holy Spirit. And when you are attempting to hide from the Holy Spirit, you should make sure that you're not near someone who talks to the Holy Spirit.
Agreed.
Well, whoever it was, we should give them our thanks.
Do you all continue your way or do you double back?
I keep going.
Mhm.
No sense in strolling at this point. It feels like now we're actually actively trying to get there on time.
As you enter the market square, it's easy to locate the stocks. There's nobody in it tonight, thankfully. But it's quite simple to locate them. And as you all gather, I'll give you time for a brief scene as you're waiting at the stocks. You're not quite sure exactly what time it is because, well, there's no clocks that you all have. You have no watches. But you know it must be getting close to the 10th hour, but you have a little bit of time.
Still just guards patrolling right now? No active citizens wandering or anything
No,
like
it's
that?
night watchman. There always seems to be one in the market square. As one leaves, another one seems to come in here. Apparently, this is one area that's well watched.
Is there any sort of centerpiece that people gather in this market, or is it just sort of laid out like a crazy twisted maze?
This market is actually it's called Market Square for a reason. It's a big square opening where no buildings are. It's clear, well, at night everyone has packed up their stuff, but come daylight, based on the wear of these stones, you know that this place will be full of carts and merchants hawking wares.
What's the moon like tonight?
This is a full moon tonight.
Everyone just quietly gets on her knees and just starts to speak in Irish. Softly.
Are you looking for something, Senor Snatcher? I notice your eyes keep darting around.
Trying to get a sense of what wares are available.
Oh. Are you in the market for something specific?
Not yet.
I can help.
Thank you, but I have my own funds.
I didn't mean like that, but it's good to know that you're taken care of.
The very bland face gives an expression that doesn't quite seem right.
As you're talking, the ones that aren't talking, that are watching, you see a lantern light coming from one of the alleys approaching the group. And the man that steps out, Elena, you recognize him. You haven't seen him in a long time. Is Hadel, servant, Ambrosio Mancado, your sire.
Adele, it is good to see you.
It's good to see you, milady. I am sent to escort you all. Your master. He regrets he is unable to be here for this discussion, pressing matters of the church and all that. But I am sent here in his stead.
Lead the way, we will follow.
And he takes you down the alley to a rather stout wooden door. And when he opens it, he steps inside and he holds it open with his lantern and motions for you all to follow him. And as you step in, closes the door behind you and pulls a key that turns a rather stout lock. All locks are stout in these days, I guess. And he leads you down a stone stairway. And as you're led down this stone stairway, it twists a bit. The stairs crumble in places. Obviously, this is a very old place. It's very hard for you all to see unless you're going to use other methods to see. There's just enough light by the lantern to keep you from injuring yourselves or falling off this stairwell. As you get to the bottom, you're led into tunnels, and it is an obvious maze of tunnels. They crisscross every which way. Sometimes it feels like he's taking turns at random. But the further you've gone, the smaller and tighter they are, until you finally come to a point where you're forced to travel in single file.
Do I happen to recognize the design techniques?
No.
Okay.
Your guess, maybe Roman, based on the way the stones are fit together.
Yeah, not quite what I was looking for. I was looking for someone's specific work.
Oh, no.
Is the floor stone tile, dirt?
The floor is rough stones that have been fit together. It still leaves a rather uneven floor in spots, of course, but it's navigatable even in this dim light.
All right. I am, just to make sure that I'm getting a good idea of things, I'm using heightened senses for sight.
Okay.
And I would like to discreetly, if possible, pop a single claw.
Okay.
On my foot.
On your foot.
And as I walk, kind of drag my foot a little.
To leave a mark?
To leave a mark on the marker path.
Okay, so if you're going to do that, I do believe that's our first rouse check. Correct?
Yep.
Now, for those that don't understand, we are using a modified version of V20 because, frankly, I hate the blood pool mechanic. I prefer a hunger track. So we have added, instead of the blood pool, hunger track system. So he'll make his rouse check and adjust his hunger accordingly.
All right, where's the table on here that says where the rouse check is again?
It will be major tables that you have access to, and it's hunger track.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
And dear audience, thank you as you show great patience, because there will be some growing pains with how various mechanics that we've set up work.
Yep.
So thank you for your patience ahead of time.
And for those of the viewers who want to know how we're doing it, if you go to our Discord, we've actually posted up all the house rules we're using so that you, the viewers, can read over what we're doing so that it makes sense as we do it.
Such a lovely segue.
And I might even do that.
Oh,
there we go.
And what are we using for dice pool for rouse check?
Just one die, difficulty 6.
Okay.
Nice and easy. Let's not make it complicated.
That is a 10.
Very good. You did not get hunger. And you drag your claw a bit. Seems like a good way to leave marks on the floor that you could use to possibly find your way out. But it's hard to keep track of time down here in the dark. You finally come to another heavy door. Hedadel knocks twice, opens it. And inside is a small room. There are 5 chairs in the room. But there's also several torches, and in one corner of the room, a sarcophagus is upright against the wall. And as you step into the room, Hidel just nods and closes the door, but stays outside and does not come in with you. As you're left in the room with the flickering torches, there's obviously, based on the lack of smoke, whoever's done this room actually planned for the ventilation to keep the torchlight smoke from coming out.
When you say sarcophagus, is there any way to tell if there's a specific culture that designed or made said sarcophagus?
I will let you
I know
roll,
that's not my specialty, but just
I don't know, intelligence, architecture, occult. So just give me a roll. Tell me what you'd want to roll. You know, I like to let you pick rolls like that.
well, it's not going to be much. My intelligence isn't exactly stellar. Would you cave to intelligence investigation since it's a pretty small pool, anyways?
Sure.
And then what
Difficulty
difficulty?
6.
Okay.
I'm going to use difficulty 6 a lot unless there's reasons not to.
10s count for 2, right?
If you have the specialization, yes. Otherwise, it count for 1.
Oh no, I don't have no specialization. Okay, then I
Only count
get
for 1.
2 successes.
2 successes. You would put them Eastern European sarcophagus of some kind. You don't
Okay.
know exactly. Can't pin down an error, but it's Eastern European.
All right, just
Any of-
nothing like crazy, unexpected, like Egyptian or some of that
and
shit.
you definitely know it's not Roman because, well, Romans didn't have sarcophagus.
Is there any languages written on them?
None.
Elena sits down.
I'll also sit down specifically close to the place that we entered, so that I'm close to the exit.
And as you wait, it's hard to tell time, as I've said. But you're not here long before a man comes in. You're not sure who this is. It can't be Count Radu, because his clothing is that of a woodsman. And as he's moving and he looks you all over, he definitely can't seem to sit still. His legs constantly move. He shifts position a bit. His dark hair hanging in disarray down his back. His skin is weather-worn. But what strikes you the most is as he looks around at you all, his eyes are red-stained. Reflects the torchlight in a way that makes it very clear. I assume you're the ones I'm here to meet.
You are?
Tiberu, messenger for Count Radu.
All right. Yes.
You've been asked here because we'd like to offer you a great opportunity. And Prince Radu has been assured by your sires that you're not only happy to assist him, but you'd love to secure a place for yourselves in the future. A place that can be truly called your own. We would like you to travel into the region called Transylvania. Up in the Carpathian Mountains is Prince Radu's city, Istris. He would like to have you stop in there on your way, but you are to journey further east from there after you're done. You see, the mission that he would like you to accomplish for him. The Tehuta Pass is the main access between Transylvania and the east. It's a very strategic place. Unfortunately, the fortress that was there has long since fallen to ruin. So we would like you to supervise the building of a fortress there, to guard the trade route, and of course, to collect taxes on those who pass through. You'll be allowed to keep a portion of the taxes for your own.
Taxes from mortals or taxes from any?
Any who pass through there, if they are not guests of Count Radu, they should be taxed based on what they're bringing into his domain.
And is it only tax of currency, or could alternatives be pitched if they do not have any?
Well, we would prefer currency. Of course, barter, trade is always important.
Blood?
Now, you feed is up to you. It would do no good to send blood to Count Radu. By the time it reached him, it would be long
Rancid.
since worthless. And I understand this undertaking. It would involve more resources than you have at hand. So Prince Radu is willing to advance you sums of money to hire guards, skilled workmen. It won't be a princely sum, but it should be enough to complete the work that needs to do to get it done. Of course, while you're there, you'll also be in charge of the lands nearby and the villages as well. I believe at last count there were 4 villages in the area. You'll recruit your workers from there. Feel free to tax them as you see fit. You're in luck, though, for this fortress. Though it is crumbling, the foundation is there. So that will be part of the job. You should be able to use that foundation and build upward. Now, because of the importance of this location, we would like it done by winter. And winter comes early in the Carpathian Mountains. Leaves you little time to delay.
Can I roll a vibe check on this guy?
Go ahead. What do you want to roll? If anyone wants to do
I-
vibe checks, go ahead.
I imagine perception and awareness would probably be or empathy.
Sure, you can use those.
It is uncommon for a letter specifically addressed for us to meet with somebody other than the person who said we were going to be meeting with.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
I was thinking the
If
exact
anyone
same
wishes to
thing.
roll, go ahead.
Okay.
And then tell me I'm going to get 3. That's good.
Well, does my perception specialty apply of attentive?
Sure. You could be watching his body language and his movements.
5 successes.
5 successes. Very nice. It's clear from watching him, he is nervous being where he's at. He is not used to being enclosed. Between that and the red eyes, you suspect you share a clan with this individual. Now, you've done a lot of business in this area. You've heard that Prince Radu uses a gangrel as a messenger, though you've never managed to get his name or met him before. As for the honesty, everything he's saying is with enough confidence. You figure very likely he's not lying at all about it.
Or at the very least, he believes what he's telling is the truth.
Tell me, does Prince Radu often send you to do his negotiations on his behalf?
I am a trusted messenger of the Count. I have served him faithfully in these duties. These are dangerous times. For many kindred, it is unsafe to travel the wilds, whereas I have certain advantages that allow me to freely move about without a caravan of guards and servants.
Hmm.
Do you wish proof of I am who I say I am?
Yes.
Pulls from his pocket a ring that has a signet on it that seems to match what you remember from the wax seal that was on your letter.
All right.
Now, let's discuss some additional things here that Count Radu would like to have happen. It's a small favor for him, not really. Most would not find it important.
I'm gonna hold up my hand and produce the missive. I'm gonna unroll it, look at it, lean over to Elena. Dame Elena, please. What was your name again, sir?
Tibaru.
Tibaru. Yeah, no, I don't see your name on the missive. I see Conde Radu right here. And yet you speak of favors for him.
I am entrusted to negotiate on his behalf. I know exactly what he's going to offer you and what he wishes. He would be here himself, but running a city demands a bit of his time. That is why he's asked you to stop and see him on your way there.
I understand. I too speak for Ambrosio Luis Moncada, and as we are both friends of Radu, I speak for my sire, and I say that I would like to meet with Conde Radu personally.
You will.
Can you make this happen, Tibaru?
You will stop at Bistriz on your way. He's expecting you. He's waiting in the city.
You can assure me that we will meet with him personally,
yes.
Not with another one of you?
No, you will meet with him.
All right, then we can give him our answer.
We have been assured that you will accept. But we haven't gone into stipulations and, of course, what we offer. We are asking a lot, and though it is a boon being repaid by your sires, it does not mean you should get nothing from it. But first, let me bring up his other thing he's interested in. The fortress that once stood there had a tower that it is rumored under the tower is some old writings or tablets or some sort of things such as that. Should you locate them, he would love to have them added to his collection. And he would see it as a personal favor for them to be given to him. And to be fair, that is part of his lands anyway, and he has the right to them, but he would ask you to send them off to him.
Is the tower in ruin as well?
Yes, the whole thing, other than the foundation, is long since abandoned.
It'd be safer to tear the structure down and start over.
I'll leave that up to you all. Now,
I will, of course, as you are coming, or my services are coming on the behest of Mother Constance, I'm sure you will not have any issues with me copying down the information on the tablets and sending to her for the archives at the Holy Order of the Lost Eternal Souls.
he's given me no instructions to forbid that, so I don't see any problem with it. As long as they're sent his way.
You allow me to translate?
If you can. Now, I know your sire's thanks for helping repay their boon. I can already tell by statements being made may not be enough. As you may be aware, Several of the fiefdoms here in Transylvania find themselves without rulership. 4 of the 7 bigger cities have no princedom at the moment. Prince Radu offers one of them to you, if you are willing to complete his task. He has enough sway with both the Council of Ashes and his fellow Nez to make that offer and to keep it.
We get to choose which of these 4 cities.
I'm sure when you meet him, you can negotiate which one, though there's advantages and disadvantages to each.
Is there truly no member of the clan's Misi who could take this up? He's desperate enough to involve other clans in this.
Politics for Clan Zmitsi are delicate. He would not invite a fellow clanmate to build a fortress on his own lands, because he could not be assured they would give it up upon completion. Wouldn't matter if he offered fiefdoms or not. That is a tollhold. And you know they like to play their grudges. Why do you think I'm a messenger? Not only can I travel the wilds, but I'm less likely to be destroyed at a hand. Because I have no power for them to seize.
I'm assuming we leave after dusk tomorrow.
That is correct. But if you are hungry, and he motions his hand towards the sarcophagus, food has been provided, if you wish it. Here. And he walks over and he pulls the lid open, and 3 women fall out of it. You'd put them early 20s, wearing servants' clothes. And as they climb back to their feet, they see you all, and they all seem to kneel in a line with their heads bowed, waiting.
Oh,
Feel free to drink.
I am visibly uncomfortable with the actions these women are performing.
Elena walks up to them and inspects them. She wants to see if they've been fed on already.
You'd be hard to tell, other than their pallor, I guess.
No, she's going to inspect them, their wrists, their necks.
There's no wounds that you can see. Of course, you can close the wounds, so those normally don't leave marks.
And then she's going to inspect their pallor.
They are servants, so they do seem to spend a bit of time in the sun, lightly tanned. You can rest assured they are well versed in serving as vessels.
Any way I can tell if they're part of my prey exclusion?
What was your prey exclusion again?
The word that we ended up using for it is slanter, but other such derogatory terms might be whore, prostitute, things of that nature.
By their clothes, they're wearing servants' outfits. You would guess maybe in the employ of either a wealthy merchant, a minor lord, someone of that status.
Okay.
Elena looks for the one that appears the healthiest of the bunch.
Okay.
And takes her wrist and feeds.
Okay. Now, how much blood do you take? The human body holds, under our system of the blood pool, our hunger track, 5 total points that you can pull from one, but that will kill, of course. Taking more than 2 points will will make them unhealthy for sure. 2 is relatively safe.
She will take 2.
Okay. And there's a look of almost enjoyment on the woman's face as you feed, the kiss being quite pleasurable to mortals.
And then Elena licks the wound and drops the wrist and goes back to sit.
And as you go to stand back, the woman that you fed from, thank you, mistress.
Elena doesn't even acknowledge it.
If any of you, anyone else is hungry, feel free. I only ask that you do not destroy them.
I'll feed, but only take 1 point.
Okay.
And then before she can open her mouth to say thank you, I just hold up a hand, don't you fucking dare thank me.
And she gets
and step back.
I'm not going to say it's a panic. She gets a very strange look, like she's unsure of what to do.
She can feel free to stand there. I just back up and go back to my seat after I've cooled myself off a little bit.
So do we have an arrangement? You will be provided, of course, with a contingent of guards, some covered wagons, the funds, of course, you require, supplies for the journey, and some servants as well.
And what of those supplies are we allowed to keep
With
when
the
this
supplies you're
is
given,
all
you
over?
can keep them all.
The servants and guards included.
Of course. You'll need them, most likely, as you set up at the fortress anyway. Someone has to watch the pass during the day to collect taxes.
Indeed. I agree to it.
And the rest of you?
Far be it for me to go against my lady's wishes. If she sees no fault in this, then I also agree.
Just give a firm nod.
And the others?
I was sent to give my agreement to Count Redu. When I speak with him, I shall do that.
I, as well. I will tell him if I agree or disagree.
I will accept that since the rest have agreed. That way, if the other two do not, the remaining Canaanites here can use the money to achieve the goals anyway. I've arranged for a place for you to stay tonight if you wish, on the edge of the city.
What place is this?
It is, we'll call it a merchant's house that owes favors. You'll be given a room in the cellar where you're safe from daylight. And tomorrow at dusk, you will head back to the gate you came in at. There you'll be met by a set of wagons. I will make sure the gate guards have notice to let you pass if the gate has closed. And there, the guardsmen and, of course, the other servants, I assume some of you brought your own, will be set to travel.
All right.
Very good. And Tiberius walks over and knocks on the door, and Adele opens it back up with his lantern. Everything is done to everyone's satisfaction. you can follow me.
Elena gets up and starts to follow.
And he leads you
Gross.
back through the tunnels. Not the same way you came in.
Before leaving, I would like to have a brief conversation with Tiberius.
Go ahead. So as the others are gathering at the door, you turn back to speak with him. As he is telling the servant girls to stand and report back to their master. Can I help you?
We did fail our traditional introductions. Miguel Tanner, I travel the woods in the seek of saints for something more. I have walked 10 winters.
You are young. Puzzling. My understanding was Brother Constance is not one of us.
He is not. My sire never returned from the night that he embraced me.
That is common amongst our kind, isn't it? But you have survived the wild well enough.
I have.
I know you are put out by the method the Count has chosen to pass his message. You must understand it is a delicate time.
Since I'm not going to be heading back, and you are one who travels, if you would do me the courtesy of stopping by Convent and letting Mother Constance know that I'm on route to meet with Count Radu, I would appreciate that.
I will pass the message, though. It is my understanding that Count Radu is already informed. It can't be your sire, but his allies of the plan before they would agree to send you in the first place. It's all politics that I don't understand, to be fair.
It is more of a courtesy than out of any other real need to pass it along. If you would do me the favor, I would appreciate that.
I will.
Thank you for your time, Tiberius.
We'll meet again, I'm sure.
Go in peace. And then he'll follow up.
And as you go to walk out, you hear him mutter something. Can't quite get the gist of it. You caught free, but that was it. And Hadel sees you come out. Are you ready, sir? Let's go. And he leads you back through these tunnels a different way, like I said. Will you be staying at the house that was arranged for you, or are you going to stay somewhere else?
You three stay at the house arranged. We already have a room.
I ask you, we ran into someone in the employ of a certain Ventru. Does the Blue Blood, is the Blue Blood in question aware of your endeavors within the city?
I am just a servant. I am sure I'm below most of the blood. Though my master's name carries enough weight to keep me safe. Woe would befall to any who tried to bleed me.
Any chance I could do some perception empathy on the first bit he said? I feel I am beneath most of the blood. I want to see if that's actually what he thinks.
Go ahead.
I have 4 perception and 1 empathy. Hey, I'm not a sociopath. How about that?
Well, or just a well hidden one.
To quote Barb Simpson, hey, at least I'm on a path.
That's true. That's very true.
3 successes.
3 successes.
Does he actually think he's lesser than just because he's a servant, or is he just being humble for our sake?
You suspect he feels that way.
Well, all right then.
I will inform Master Mancado that you have accepted. I am sure the bishop will be happy.
He should be.
And he leads you back from the tunnels out to a different part of the castle district. You come up through a cellar of some kind and then into an alleyway. This is where I will part ways with you all, I'm sure. And he tells you a street to go on. The directions to find this cellar, it's not street names because there's not a lot of those there, but he gives you things to look for to find your way there. As he steps back into the cellar that he took you out of. And I turn this over to you, the players, to discuss. Do you discuss here in an alley, or do you go somewhere else to talk?
I think here would be fine. We all seem like enough hyper-aware people that no one's going to just sneak up on us or anything.
And you are in the castle district. The only thing is some guards, night watchmen, walking around. It'd be very difficult to sneak up it right now, at least with the lack of people.
At least some of you know how to run a keep or fortress, I would hope.
300 odd years ago, I was a queen of Kiev.
That should be sufficient.
I know the region that they want us to build in. It will be very lucrative.
Oh, so we're not being given a plot of hell and expected to rule it.
I'm not going to say it isn't going to be hell, but it is well used.
If it was a easy task, somebody would have already rebuilt it.
Exactly.
And they have assigned 5 of us to this, not just 1.
Exactly.
Which means that they need multiple sources of competency and knowledge.
Understand, I've not said it will be easy, but if we are successful, it will be very lucrative.
It is humorous that I was the one sent here and not my broodmate. He is far better at building than I.
Or the one that snatches.
You know me well.
I imagine some will need snatching.
Top brains, his intelligence. He can handle leather or steel. 'Tis easy.
And I can manage people.
Best to keep an eye on the wretched and misfortunate as best I can, if that's what it needs to be.
So, shall we escort you to the merchant's home?
I don't believe an escort is needed. The three of us together should be sufficient. Gives you two time to go and see our lost pup.
Hopefully, she followed my directions and she is still safe inside the room.
If not, we can go find her.
Eh,
Not hard.
no offense. If she didn't follow my directions, she deserves whatever punishment she gets.
If she was smart enough and stayed, I would like a conversation with her before we take her completely back to her family. She would know more about the area that we're going to.
Of course.
Is her family in the area that we're going to?
No.
Okay. If we need to have her, so we're okay, not going to have her exit during the day and keep her around then?
I will tell her we are traveling tomorrow night. And considering she has probably stayed awake all night thus far, she will sleep most of the day as well.
She seems understanding enough that I don't believe any of us would need to enthrall her, but if it comes to that, should anyone be designated for that? I see no reason to enslave a young woman simply because she is not listening, but at the same time.
No, I won't do it because she is not listening. But if she is incredibly useful, I'll consider it.
Way more bees with honey than with limes.
Of course. Well, see you tomorrow night.
Be well, my friends.
And as the group splits up, the merchant's house, the directions were actually rather accurate. And it's clear that the merchant was waiting on you because a man wearing his night clothes opens the door the moment you get close to it and ushers you in. I've provided pallets in the basement and you will be, or in the cellar, and you will be left alone.
Miguel will nod to Snatcher and Peregrine.
Not
Enjoy
coming
your
in?
evening. Peace be with you. He's going to head off to the stables where he's got a little setup going.
Okay. You head off. Does Peregrine and Snatcher need any scene?
Does Snatch want to say something to the wannabe Toreador?
He's dropped any of the attitude towards Toreador by this point because it's way less public. And honestly, you could probably tell that even his ribbing against the Toreador was more good-natured than actually hateful towards them. But beyond that, no, he's not gonna make too much conversation. Probably just curl up in the corner, maybe whisper to some rats if they walk by. But aside from that, he's pretty chill to just sit.
She will mention he's got to make it look good when they're in public.
His bland ass face just gives you a wide grin.
I'm not asking for a ribbon, but you know that you're going to have to give it to me as much as you want to, as to others, right? I'm not going to take it personally.
The first woman to ever request such from me.
What? You haven't had anyone want to give you a ribbon before?
No.
Why?
You assume that Al Nosferatu embraced turn hideous.
Oh, you're assuming that I'm assuming that we're assuming here. Wee one, how old do you think I am?
Older than me.
No, keep
I
going.
do not believe that is difficult.
Aye. Look, I don't assume much about anything. I take it by the weight of what your merit is and what you do. So you give me as good as you got. I'll give it back. But I want you to know nothing personal, and I'm not trying to disrespect you.
Well, of course not.
I would rather say it for my own feeling and understanding than it not being said.
Then allow me to get the truly rude question out of the way first.
Aye, go for it.
You are a member of the clan Asamite.
Aye.
Are you, like so many have been rumored to be,
Nay.
an effective assassin?
Oh, well. I was that before I was turned. Wait, have you heard about... What do you know about gladiator pits? Cool.
People
Gladiator
fight in them.
pits. Aye.
That I have not heard of. They did not have many such things in London.
Oh, they did. You not knowing about them.
There's very little that the London Nosferatu can socialize with.
Oh, no. They're down there bitten just as everyone else. She stands up, does a twirl and a curtsy. Peregrine McSullivan, former champion of 5 distinct Ghoul gladiator pits. I've been around for centuries, fighting in them.
Sounds exhausting.
It explains why I don't have many friends. That's why I always used to tease Augustine when he was a little younger about the pointy bit going into the other person.
And Snatcher will step forward and hold his hand out to you.
Do you like it?
It doesn't feel the way it looks.
Interesting.
It looks like normal skin, but what you feel is rougher and segmented.
Oh, I know this feeling. Unfortunately, you need now to human, so I cannot tell you how to get rid of it. However, good disguise. Well done.
I wouldn't be much for my clan if I couldn't hide.
Aye, same. I can hide. Cannot do that yet. Working on it.
But if you're an assassin, that means that you are another one I can rely on to be quiet. That's more what I was wondering.
Oh, I'm very quiet when I need to be in. I can disappear if needed.
Fantastic. I trust a gangrel to know how to stay hidden as well. The La Sombra,
They're born in.
the Clan of
Force, something
Darkness,
like that.
often I think would be very easy to hide.
Well,
Or maybe
yes
they
and
have no
no.
need of hiding. They seem
Some.
of noble stock.
Oh no! Wait until you see the peacocks of them. They give the venturer in for the money, and we're talking about the flashy ones.
Have a good day.
Night, still night. Give it a wee bit.
It's often
We'll see
good
them
to gather
all
one's
and-
thoughts. And he'll just lean back against the wall and not say anything else.
Okay. And we're going to flash over to Elena and Augustine as you arrive back. Sure, Zena is still in the room. She has taken the opportunity. She doesn't have a brush. She's used her fingers to try to comb out the mats in her hair a bit. And when you all enter the room, she stands and does a curtsy.
Here, allow me. And in Elena's bag, she has tools to take care of hair.
Okay.
And she basically uses some oil to help loosen the knots and cleans it up.
Need to bring a bucket of water.
I thank you for saving me.
Of course. And Elena starts braiding her hair. This will protect it
I know my brother Dragomir will be happy to know that I'm safe. And she gets a funny look looking at you, and her eyes cut to Augustine, and she cuts back. You are a vampire, correct?
Yes.
As is my brother.
Is he?
Where do you go from here?
We head east.
Into Transylvania.
Yes.
I will go with you and offer what I can.
Are you certain? Because you can return to your brother.
No. He will be thankful, but it's not safe for me to be around him. He is strange.
How so?
Just strange.
Describe it.
Did the strangeness come before or after his gift was given to him?
He has always been strange, but after the gift, when it storms, he is angry. When the mountain shakes, he shakes as well. Him and the land are tied in an odd way. He told me once, blood calls for blood. And blood demands blood.
What is your family name again?
Asarab. We once ruled quite a bit. Not as much anymore, of course.
Fortunes do come and go.
Now, for Elena, who spent some time with Zimitsi, the Basarabs, you recognize that name as a Revenant family
Yes.
who have been serving Zimitsi in some way for generations.
We are not related, but I know what your brother speaks of. For a time, I served one like him.
Many of the Dark Lords are tied to the land in that way. It is common.
In this area.
That's the only area I know.
In Constantinople, there are many others.
Perhaps if I serve well, you'll take me there one day.
Perhaps it is beautiful.
I owe a debt and I will repay it.
Very well. You will get some rest now. And when you wake, you will watch over to make sure we are not disturbed.
As you wish. Does Augustine and Elena need a private conversation at all? Or are
No,
you good?
But if you want one, I'm okay with it. But I'm gonna go over to the window and I'm gonna, with potence, I'm gonna drive my sword through the sill so that it keeps the blinds closed.
Okay.
I go,
So the heavy wooden shutters cannot be moved.
Yeah. It is not that I don't trust you, young lady, but better safe than sorry.
Thank you, Augustine.
Dame Elena. It's my pleasure.
And I'll settle in for the rest of the evening and prepare for my day sleep.
There you go. You return to your stable to find it exactly the way you left. And you settle in as well. A lot to think on for everybody. But for some of you, a deal has been made. For others, I guess you're following along with the deal for now until a firm arrangement can be made. But right here, everybody, is where we're going to end. Episode 1 of Glimpses Through History, or Glimpses of History. And I do thank the players and the viewers for XP. Everyone gets 3 XP this session, which is 1 for playing, 1 for role play, and 1 for learning shit because you all got a whole bunch of info dump on your ass. So there's no other way to claim that. We're not doing any kind of player or viewer vote for this stream. I want to try to keep it consistent to make it easier for us to calculate for when we inevitably lose track of how much experience we've gained, because it will happen. We always do. So if we try to keep it consistent, it makes it a bit easier. Of course, thank you to the viewers. I hope you enjoyed our very first session. There was a lot of info dumps, but we've set the stage. Now is when the real problems start. Of course, if you'd like to join us on the Discord, so you know, the cast of this show comes from the Discord. That's where we cast all of our shows. We do Zoom hangouts when we can. Generally, we got a good community over there, so you should honestly join us on the Discord. It's a good crew. A lot of nice people over there. We got lots of other content that we talk about, not just World of Darkness. So come hang out with us a bit. If you want to catch our back episodes, pop over to YouTube. Back episodes can be on YouTube. That's where you'll see this one posted up, all of our other World of Darkness content, vampire, werewolf, changeling, mage, demon, wraith. Jesus, we've done a lot of World of Darkness stuff, but we've also got non-World of Darkness stuff you can catch as well. If you want to catch our friends, two of which actually, one over here, the Ravenous Archon, pop over to his channel. And then one down here, Junie Von Esch over on the RPG table. And check them out. Go watch the streams that they do, because they do their own things. And I'm going to give people a chance to say what they're doing here in a minute once I get done my part before Mama goes into the schedule. Let's see. Get some merch. Of course, you know, we've got merch. Nothing yet for this game, but I'm sure we'll come up with some. I think already we're going to need a I Don't Trust You t-shirt, because I can already tell that nobody trusts anybody out there that they're meeting in this game. So, you know, I don't know why.
Everybody's sus.
Yep. And of course, so the viewers know, bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the viewers, or not to the studio. So, or not to the viewers either, really. If you want to give something to the players, bits and donation go to them. It's a way for you, the viewers, to show thanks for, as you can see, the costuming and the hard work that goes into being in the stream.
Hey, I'm really proud. I made this Kevin Roos headband.
So
Really good.
bits of donations that go to the players. If you want to give to the studio, of course, KoFi, you can pop over there. You can subscribe here on Twitch. Twitch takes half, and at the rate they're going more than that, watch, because, you know, Twitch is going straight from pimped into, Jesus, loan shark killer mode on that. KoFi is a good way to do it without giving them half the money. Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, costs you nothing. Like the video, costs you nothing. All that drives up our search rating and helps out the studio. And now I'm going to let the players at the table say what they're doing. We'll start with Augustine over there.
Hi, everybody. My name is the Ravenous Archon. I have my own channel on Twitch where I do Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf of the Wild West, Legend of the Five Rings, and 7th. And you can go check it out if you're interested in any of those systems. And then on Friday, I'll be running some Star Wars here on the channel, because I talked them into it and they let me do it because they're very nice.
Is that why? Okay.
That's
Zach,
my story.
Miguel, what do you? Where can people find you? What you doing? All that good stuff.
My name is Zach right now, but him. I can be found on the Hell site at Zach Rules. If you're on the Ancient Elephant, Zach Rules at band.camp. If you're looking for me other places on the internet, I have a website, zachrules.com. And if you need to see me on streams, I have red lines to do, so I'm too busy for anything else besides this. Keep an eye out because for House of the Apocalypse is coming out soon-ish, TM. And that is my first credited writing for Onyx Pass and White Wolf. So
Awesome.
watch out for that.
Congrats.
And look for Zach Roll's content on Drive Through RPG.
Yeah.
He's got content over there. Check out his content. Get some good shit. Junie, what about you?
Me? Well, I can be found everywhere because I live on the internet. Seriously. I can be found here. Yay. Not only for Dark Ages, but also for Star Wars. Wait, what? I'll also be found on Ravenous Darkheart for 7th Sea. I can be found on Roll Call for DC by Night. And I am the storyteller on RPG Table. I'm also the mod over at Cajun Night server where we do all of your World of Darkness needs.
Hey, I got to say, one thing about McStabber Studios, we have a lot of World of Darkness needs because we sure as hell keep playing it. Snatcher, we know you're not anywhere online. Find Snatcher on our Discord. Pop down to our Dark Ages chat, and you can chat with him though. Because
if any of you happen to find my Twitter, wow, that's impressive. I don't do anything with
Snatcher,
it.
no snatching.
Yes.
Snatcher, no snatching. Wow, that's a good reference.
Need to find a way to.
When Shreknet dropped.
I need to take some disciplines to turn me into a fox.
There we go. And
while my bandit mask and gloves,
while my wife is over there cackling, I will let her give the schedule this week. And she's trying to figure out what the schedule is.
Yeah. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us for the premiere of this. We are all getting our bearings with the characters we're playing and the setting and the rules and all that. We hope y'all had a great time, and next week should be a lot of fun as we trek it into fucking Transylvania proper.
The pain has just started.
Yes. This is the Dark Ages. There's no planes, there's no trains, there's no automobiles. It is horse-drawn covered carts, y'all.
Yeah, you could see all of our faces was like, and you'll be provided with covered wagons, and we're like, oh,
God, get the shit beat out of us as we trek across the mountains.
Bouncy, bouncy.
It'd be less damaging to have a Bruja chuck us there. Jesus.
There's
It just gives us time to run a
shocks have not been invented.
No, they have not. So anyway, coming up over the next week, we have on Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern, Star Wars, run by the Ravenous Archon here at our table, and also has Junie in it. So join them on Friday evening for that. And then on Sunday, we have Windy City After Dark, 5 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be episode 12 of season 10. Yeah, we're doing more than 10 episodes because this is the final season.
2 left.
There's 2 episodes left.
And be ready for that special guest that's going to, returning player.
Yeah.
Going to be there for Sunday's Windy City.
So that's at 5 p.m. Eastern. There's a whole shit ton of Justicars in town right now, and Nicholas done fucked around.
Yep.
So, we had our fuck around episode, so now we're going to have the find out episode. It's going to be bad, y'all.
It is.
So, join us for that. And then, of course, we will be back here on Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep. As we get to see them trek across Transylvania. So you're aware, I'm not going to have them do each night for that because that would
suck.
Mind-numbing. Let's not do it that way. But I'm sure adventure will be had.
As someone playing a Gangrel, I protest. Give me all the role playing in the wilderness.
Yeah, you'll get more than one opportunity for that. And as we always end these stream, everybody, I want you to know, mental health, it's not a joke, it's not a laughing matter. mental health is very important. We take it very important here at the studio. Please check in on those around you, reach out to them, make sure they're okay, because there's a lot of people out there right now that are not okay. So please be a lifeline to them, because a lot of times that's all it takes. Somebody to reach out and be a lifeline. And if you suffer from mental health issues like many of us do, please don't hesitate to reach out to those around you. And if you don't feel you can, because I can understand it can be tough to feel you can do that, in chat is a list of numbers you can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Have a professional on the other end of the line with you. So please make sure you take care of that. And if you're not in the U.S., because we do have non-U.S. viewers, in chat, you can go to thefindahelpline.com, put in your country of origin, and find out the support structure for the country you're in. Because mental health is health, everybody, and it's okay to not be okay, so please take care of it. And I will turn it over to my wife for her final portions of this stream.
With the mind, the body goes with it. So take care of your body. Get your vaccines. Get your preventative screenings done if you are due for them, because early detection saves lives, y'all. It's for real. And get checked out. Get your checkups. Get your physicals. Get checked out if you're not feeling well. Please take care of yourself, because mind and body go together. As one goes, the other starts falling apart, and vice versa. So please take care of yourselves. And I'm just going to let you know that in the U.S., in 2024, every member of the House of Representatives is going to be up for election. Every single one. Democrats need 5 seats to take control. Please make sure you're registered. Please make sure you intend to vote blue, because we really do have to stop the fascism in our country. And I don't just mean for the House of Representatives, literally even your local fucking elections. Let's take a look at some of the states and the bullshit they're pulling.
Get out there and vote, because if you don't vote, you have no right to complain about what's going on, first of all.
That's what I told him for years.
You got to vote to get your voice heard.
Yeah, please. So, and please make sure if you are already registered, that as it gets closer to election time, that you check your registration, because I swear to you, in Republican states, there seems to be an issue with Democrat voters not having their registration be valid as it gets close to the election. So double check that, please. Fuck the fascists worldwide. Fuck them all. Because, yeah, Putin fucking ordering destruction of dams and shit, and it's just, fuck them all. We got to stop it. Said with love.
And trans rights are human rights.
Yep.
And happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy Pride, y'all.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride Month. And
Pride was a riot.
I do thank you all for coming. And I hope you're going to be around for the rest of this chronicle. So you're aware we're going to do 800 years of kindred history. Not all in one session. So I thank you all for coming. Good night, everybody.